Dave, with coming now here to Anaheim for the season, it's Shohei Ohtani's first return in the regular season. You got to see how they recognized him when he came during the Freeway Series. How special do you think tonight will be for Shohei, but also for the fans here at Angel Stadium?
I think it's going to be special for everyone. Just speaking for Shohei, it might be a little bit of closure in the sense of it was such a great time here in Anaheim, and as far as being with the fans, and so they'll get a chance to show their appreciation, gratitude. And I think for him, it'll be a nice moment. But I know he's excited to be a Dodger and competing for a championship, but it's certainly going to be a nice moment for everyone.
Yeah, when you look at what he's been doing this season, how do you kind of put towards just what he's been able to achieve so far with the Dodgers?
Well, fortunately, the exciting thing is that the season isn't over yet. But I think just the context of, what he's done, it's never been done before. And so I think that in itself is pretty overwhelming. And just the sheer passion he plays with the game every day, given the responsibilities that he has as far as being essentially the face of Major League Baseball.
Do you think closure is something he needs? Like, you've had a lot of guys that go back to their old places. Has the transition been easier for him than maybe others from what you've been able to tell? Like, what do you think?
It's been pretty seamless. And I say closure because I think that it's more for the fans. I think Shohei has certainly rightfully has moved on. He does a great job, like I've talked about, of separating, real life from work. But I think this moment is something that people have looked forward to. They've marked it on their calendars, and so again, it'll be good.
What do you think it is about him that's allowed this transition to be so seamless, just to being a Dodger?
It's just how he's wired. I think that some people are pretty emotional about things, and some people are just very kind of unemotional. I think that he's just simplistic in that sense. It's a part of his past and a significant part of his life, but I don't think that it's something that he continues to think through. I think he's more of a forward-thinking person.
Who's the last guy you can think of or you have been around who's that unflappable?
Corey Seager is very unflappable. That's about it. Because even where guys think that they are unflappable, they're sensitive and they get annoyed. But yeah, those two guys are probably. But no one's like Shohei.
Dave, I've always kind of thought that one of the benefits of him starting his major league career here was that, frankly, because they were not a very competitive team, right? It gave them certain liberties to kind of adjust the schedule a certain way. They gave him time to write in a bad spring training, whatever. He's on the opening day roster. How different do you think it would have been, say, had he come to you guys from Japan? And, right, you have the pressures of having to win, and you're trying to kind of work this guy in. And again, it was a disastrous first spring training. How do you think after 6 years that might have looked different?
I would have loved to have run that scenario out. I think we had the personnel, the infrastructure to make it work. It would have certainly taken buy-in from players, which I would expect that they would have done. But I do understand and appreciate the fact that I don't want to say it in any disrespect, but a softer landing could have been beneficial for Shohei, but I also believe that if he would have signed with us out of the get-go, he would have flourished with us his first year.
Do you think, though, you talk about the buy-in from the players, one of the things is the rotation there, right? Guys we're used to kind of doing it one way.
That's right.
You have some pretty big personalities. You've had some pretty big personalities in this rotation over the years.
We have, and but I think knowing what we have as far as personnel, those guys were still all in on courting him and knew what the fallout or the kind of the parameters would have to have been.
Do you think he makes the team out of camp that first year?
I would never bet against Shohei. Never.
I mean, but if you had put up numbers like that, he's hitting like 100 or something. Would you have cut him?
No, I think we would. I think it would have worked its way out.
Hey, this offseason when you were recording Shohei and you were thinking about maybe other teams that might be the biggest threat to you guys and signing him, where did the Angels rank for you?
I don't think they were in the conversation. And obviously there was a lot of hearsay. So then they could have been in the conversation, but I never got wind of that. It might have been on the down low, but even Shohei said that they didn't offer him anything. So I don't think they're a part of it.
So you were thinking more about Giants, Blue Jays, maybe Cubs than Angels?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
What type of reception do you suspect that he will get this evening, just considering he is the face of baseball and what he meant to the fans here in Anaheim, as well as the Dodger fans who are going to be making their way down?
Yeah, I think he's going to get a great, warm ovation. I don't know how enthusiastic it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a nice video, montage and a nice welcome.
And then for Walker Buehler, what are you hoping to see from him today, and how important, just not only is this start, but really is this month for him to prepare for October and opportunities there?
This is a big start for Walker, certainly given the health of our rotation. He had his best start in quite some time, his last turn, and I expect him to build off of it. And he's got to be in playoff mode because there's only so many opportunities for him to get prepared and earn that right to start a postseason game.
How much is he in that mix? Absent baking into the injuries you already have, and what he has to do with this final moment?
Performance will dictate everything. So we've got a lot of things going on as far as injuries, and all we can deal with is who's taking the baseball, and he's one of the 5 right now, and he's got to pitch well.
Does the same thing apply for Bobby tomorrow?
Same thing applies for Bobby, absolutely. They both have an opportunity to right the ship with this season, and I wouldn't say salvage. They both have an opportunity to salvage this season. Yeah.
Anything new with Glasnow or Kershaw?
I know Clayton's trying to keep his arm moving, which is great. And Tyler is going to be playing catch, and he was out to 120 yesterday, so hopefully it progresses.
Can he pitch in a boot legally?
I'm not sure. I'll check, Dylan. My people talk to your people. Yeah. Thanks, guys.